This is our chance to discuss what to do before they get here. But to be honest, I don't really have any good ideas. How about you guys?
I can't say that I do. Unlike me and Eustace, at least Laura and Fee understand each other to some degree. Our group's performance in last month's field study wasn't amazing, but there were no actual conflicts or anything.
Yeah, that's all the more reason why I feel like we should step in and do something for them. But from what Elisa and Emma have told me, it seems like they have trouble connecting with each other.
Yeah, that's the impression I get too. It's not like they hate each other, they're just having trouble coming to terms with their differences.
On the one hand, we have the daughter of a noble military family, a knight in shining armor as it were. While on the other, we have a girl who spent her childhood on the battlefield running with Jaegers. Their upbringings couldn't be more different when you think about it. Maybe their values too.
You're right. I wonder if that's...
I apologize for the delay.
Hey! Good morning, Laura.
You're certainly the early bird today.
You needn't worry about us. We have no intention of causing trouble, and we're prepared to do what we can to form a combat link as soon as possible. It's not our intention to be confrontational towards one another. Is that not the case, Fee?
Yep. Don't worry. We won't bring the group down during the field study.
Well, if you say so.
That's not really what we're worried about.
Anyway, we should finish up our preparations and head over to the station. I'll bet Group B is waiting there for us already.
Agreed.
Oh, you're all here. Ready to take off? Ready as we'll ever be. Alright, let's get our tickets at the counter then. Well, the capital's only half an hour west, so at least the fare should be cheap. I didn't think we paid for the fare though. Good morning, everyone. Hehe, let me guess, you're headed to Heimdallr this month? That's right. We'd like 5 tickets to Heimdallr, please. Coming right up. You know, the capital's summer festival is coming up in just 2 days. I'm sure lots of people will be streaming into the capital to celebrate, so be careful out there. We will, don't worry. I'm used to dealing with it. Okay, that's 5 passengers headed for Heimdallr. I'll have those tickets for you in just a moment. Passenger service bound for Heimdallr, now arriving on platform 2. We ask that all passengers wishing to board please wait on the platform until the train has come to a complete stop. Well, at least we won't be waiting long. There's a train to Heimdallr every half hour, after all. So, we're really headed to the capital. I've been there a few times before, but it's still pretty unfamiliar territory. I've been twice before on family business. Same here. I know where Elisa's academy is, but that's about it. Not to worry, I'll explain more about the city on the way over. It's a pretty big city though, I'm not even sure where to start. Alright, not too much longer till we arrive, so let me give you a quick overview. Heimdallr is, among many other things, the capital of this country, which means it's the home of the reigning emperor, His Majesty Eugen Rhys Arnor III. Even children know that. We need useful local knowledge, not a recitation of a travel brochure. Bah. Well, Heimdallr is divided into 16 main districts. Each district's about as large as the whole town and any other of the Empire's provinces. All in all, the city's population hovers around 800,000 people. Wow, I can hardly imagine that many people all in one place. It's one of the continent's largest cities, isn't it? Indeed it is. Crossbell is known for being a thriving center of trade, but its population is only around 500,000. Meanwhile, to the south, Liberal's capital has about 300,000 people. The Republic's capital is pretty big too, but I don't think it's quite as big as Heimdallr. Huh, really? What? Oh, I was just wondering what kind of tasks we may be asked to do in such an expansive city. I can hardly hazard a guess. Oh. Well, we don't know who our point of contact is or even where we're going to be staying. Who knows, maybe we'll end up staying in Elliot or Machias' home. Ha, I doubt it. My house isn't big enough to put us all up. But Machias' dad is the governor, so maybe we'll be staying at his place? I think that's even less likely. Dad spends most of his time in his official residence, so I doubt anyone's going to be at our family's place. Instructor Sarah said there'd be a guide or of some sort waiting for us at the station, though she didn't mention who. That's the instructor for you. Honestly, she never really tells us anything, does she? The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. This semi-express line is bound for Heimdallr. Our next stop is Heimdallr, the terminus of this express line. Please ensure you have all of your belongings with you when you disembark the train at Heimdallr. Whew, looks like we're almost there. Indeed, it doesn't feel as though our train ride was all that long. Well, Heimdallr is just a stone's throw west of Trista. We could have just gone back to Trista at night. Well, yes, that's true, but plenty of people commute to work in the capital every day after all.
Exactly on time.
Huh?
Wait, what?
Hear that?
You're from the Railway Military Police, if memory serves me correctly.
You're Captain Claire, was it?
That's right. I'm glad you remember me. I believe it's been about 3 months since we last met.
So, this must be the woman the group who went to Celtic encountered.
So this is an officer from the fearsome RMP?
Since you're here, does that mean you're going to be the one assigning our tasks for this month's field study?
No, I'm just here to provide a place for you to talk with the person who is. He should be here any moment now. Ah, here he comes.
Perfect timing.
No way.
Dad? Huh.
I've seen him in the Imperial Chronicle before.
Governor Regnitz, one of the reformists' most influential voices.
So this is Machias' father.
This is the first time I've met most of you, so let me introduce myself. I'm Karl Regnitz, Machias' father. I'm the governor of Heimdallr and head of the local government. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, ladies and gentlemen of Class 7.
My apologies for the location. I would have preferred to brief you in City Hall, but I'm regrettably short on time, so I had to ask the captain here to lend us this room. Anyway, let's move on to confirming your assignments and lodgings. Hold on a minute. How did you, of all people, end up being the one to sort out our lodgings and tasks? It seems a little too convenient. Yeah, now that you mention it. If you wouldn't mind us asking, sir, how did you wind up as our point of contact? My apologies. I probably should have explained a little more first. It's actually a very simple reason. I'm here because I sit on Thor's Military Academy's board of directors. What? How? First Yusa's brother, then Elisa's mother, and now Machias's father? It stretches the bounds of imagination to believe the Academy's choice of directors is mere coincidence. I can assure you the three of us didn't arrange for it to be that way. If anything, I was unsure what to do when the Academy first offered the position to me. The Academy did. Would I be right in assuming there's some kind of secret reason behind the formation of Class 7? I'm afraid that's not my place to say. But whatever the case may be, I'm the third and final member of the board of directors. And that's why I'm the one who's prepared your field study task and arranged lodging for all of you. Unbelievable. It's all starting to make sense now. Thanks for clearing that up, sir. Anyway, back to what you were saying before. Yes, as I said, I'm short on time, so I'm afraid I'll have to keep this brief. Your field study will take place over 3 days, of which this is the first. As such, the third day will coincide with the start of the summer festival. Each group will be assigned half of the city and tend to a list of needs I've drawn up for you. So one group will take the eastern half of the city and the other group the west? The city's big enough that it looks like we'll be working apart even though we're in the same place. Indeed, I'm sure you've seen for yourselves how vast Heimdallr is. If both groups were to rove around the entire city, you'd have trouble getting anything done. As such, I've broken it down so that all of Group A's tasks cover the area east of Van Quer Street, while Group B's tasks are focused on the area west of Van Quer Street. Must be an important street. I believe Van Quer Street is the main thoroughfare that runs through the city, leading to the Imperial Palace. That's the one. As soon as we leave the station, you'll see it stretching out to the north. It's hardly a precise division, but for the purpose of this field study, I'm sure it'll be more than sufficient. Now, I'd like each group to take one of these envelopes. This envelope looks just like the ones we usually get with our field study itinerary. But what about this address and key? Oh, Alto Street. That's around where my family lives. Really? Yep, can't say the address brings any particular place to mind though. I seem to remember Vesta Street being a main street on the west side of the city. Yes, it's a fairly lively working class neighborhood. Dad, are these? That's right, the addresses of the places you'll be staying while you're here, along with their keys. Both groups will be staying in different places, so I suggest tracking down your lodgings before you start your work. Think of it as a small orienteering exercise to help you get a better feel for the city. My apologies, I'm afraid I'll have to take my leave now. Dad? Preparations for the summer festival have me running from place to place, as you can imagine. I wish I could stay and chat a bit longer, but that's life and politics for you. Oh, and one more thing. The communications functionality of your Arcus has been enabled in the city. Good luck out there. Wait, hold on just a... I'm not sure what to make of it all. Since he's the governor, I was expecting him to seem a lot more strict, but he actually seems more playful. I feel ashamed you had to see that. He's always been like that, I'm afraid. At least he manages to fulfill his responsibilities as governor somehow. Actually, I've heard he's extremely good at his job. Coming from the background he does, he's friendly and down to earth, but people say he's a born leader too. The Imperial Chronicle always paints him in a favorable light as well. I hear he butts heads with the noble faction far less than his fellow reformist Chancellor Osborne. In politics, a friendly demeanor can just as easily be an act to sway popular sentiment. After all, there aren't many who can waltz in and borrow meeting space from the RMP. Well, the capital is the nexus and the heart of the nation's entire railway network. As such, the Railway Military Police finds itself indebted daily to Governor Regnit's good graces. This was just an opportunity for us to return the favor, at least a little. Come on now. Well, thank you for allowing us to use this room for your meeting. We need to get our field study underway, so if you'll excuse us. Of course, I wish you well in your studies. If you follow me, I'll escort you to the station's exit. Incredible. It's so vast. The size of this city never ceases to amaze me. Way too many people. It only starts to sink in that I'm in the capital after I see an orbital tram zipping around. Is that what those little train vehicles are? I've never had the opportunity to ride one, but I believe they're used to ferry people around the city more easily. Yep, that's the main form of public transportation here. They link all 16 of the capital's main districts. They're something of an icon here in Heimdallr. Their fare is pretty cheap too, which makes them convenient for getting around. Lots of people use them so often that they just buy a yearly pass. Amazing, all that and so many orbital cars on the roads too. Ah, is that building off in the distance? That would be Valflame Palace, residence of His Majesty the Emperor. Although from what I understand, Chancellor Osborne's imperial government is also situated within. Yep, that's the case. Anyway, I'll be taking my leave here. I wish you the best of luck on your 3 days of field study. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to see us off. She really doesn't seem like an army officer, does she? Indeed, though the Railway Military Police are known as one of the Imperial Army's most elite divisions. Not to mention one of the branches most despised by the aristocracy. It's a province. If a province has a railway, you can virtually guarantee they'll use it as an excuse to meddle in the security affairs. I've rarely seen them in the Gram, though judging by their actions during our encounter in the nature park, they did seem exceptionally well trained. Yeah, even with the same number of soldiers, they had no trouble rolling right over the provincial army. And on top of that, the capital is so elegant and pretty. She even looks good in a uniform. Some people have all the luck. It's like she's everything Sarah isn't. You can say that again. Though it seems like those two have more than a little history between them. Alright, I suppose we have to get moving then. Yeah, we'll need to hop a tram to where our lodgings are, and then find the addresses we've been given. We've got a long 3 days ahead of us, so let's give it our best. You can count on it. Bea, Laura, take care of yourselves. You too. May the goddess be with you all. Take care. Alright, bye for now then. This eastbound orbital tram will be departing momentarily. All those wishing to board, please do so at this time.